with this or not. So from this time where that now says stop broadcast, from that time, this now is recording. Okay? You'll notice these little items on the side. They actually won't record. You won't see those. They just slide up, and since you're seeing the screen as opposed to seeing the end product. Oh, by the way. I'll proceed. And now what we have, it's waiting for,
you're here.
It's waiting for this to finally sync. Now anybody else that you have in your group that's visiting you, you'll see that they will come up down here at the bottom and say you. By pushing this, whenever this comes up, now you can be like a director. So if I have Jay answering, I can push Jay, and then we will switch boxes. And Jay will be the one that's being recorded.
But I have no camera, so you can't see me.
And if I want me back, I'll come back and I'll push mine, and then we can switch back and forth between people.
It's kind of like Skype, because I see Richard right there. He's all grainy.
So now let's talk about adding stuff to it. All right. Anybody got any problems going on with it right now? Any questions? If not, yes, sir. Huh? Name it. Just name the name. Now, when we name ours, it all depends upon what we're doing. If we're doing a chapter review, we'll write on there CHAPT 21 review. That way, in our channel, it'll show what it is.
What if I want to upload this video to it?
To use this video, you'll have that. We'll cover that in just a second. Okay. So, when you're doing stuff that you want to do for class, this is my thought that I'm going to try and do this year. And the thought is that every class is available all the time. Sure. Because right now, if we were in class, as long as I keep my camera, and I really don't need the camera, one. Two is you can get on Amazon. You can get, now you won't get this one, but you can get a wireless microphone for 50 bucks, 100 bucks. This one's a lot more. You can get on Amazon and get one for your laptop. It just plugs into your microphone deal, so you can be at home. The other thing about this is that when I tell it to broadcast, if I tell it to broadcast and I do this first, which would be where it says screen share. When you're doing screen share, be prepared. Just like you tell your students, be prepared for class. So we're going to be prepared because we already had our PowerPoint open. So we leave it in this one as opposed to putting it into the full screen because it doesn't capture all of it when it's in the full screen. So I go and push back over here. I go to screen share, and it tells me what I have options to pick. I can pick the screen, which would be the same screen that we're actually videoing on. I can pick chapter 19, or I can show them, if I want to, I can show them whatever on that other deal. So then I click this, and I click share. What YouTube will do is this is actually now what's being recorded, that screen. Now, because that screen's being recorded, you're not seeing me. If I prepare my YouTube like this before I hit start broadcast, then I can wear my pink slippers and prop them up on the desk even, and no one will see them. So I then go back to PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, now I'm able to go through, and it's just like regular PowerPoint.
So that's a Google document, not PowerPoint, right?
This is a PowerPoint.
That is a PowerPoint that you've uploaded.
Right. If you want to do Google Documents, it would be the same thing.
Okay.
With that in mind, I would recommend that you would get at least 2 or 3 browsers on your computer.
True.
I would use Chrome to run my YouTube, and say Firefox to run the Google Docs. Okay? That way, when you go in to pick it, you'll see a distinct difference in between which programs you want to put up here on the board. So we can go in, and Miss Salinas and I would be in the office. She would have a mic, I would have a mic. We would talk to each other, and we would take the time of prepping our questions to put them in order, because my test is not always in order. There's stuff all over the place. But we would take the test, and we would highlight the questions on the PowerPoint. Print it out. We'd print out the PowerPoint, highlight the questions, and then see what slide we're going to be on and what's going to be asked from it. So we did our homework before. It didn't take any time whatsoever. And I'd say, all right, Miss Salinas, what's next? Well, Richard, on slide 5. And then I would slide down to slide 5. And then she would say, on slide 5, we have this that we need to know. And I would highlight it. Give another visual key for those kids to find the material they need to know. And I'm doing it in PowerPoint. And in the background, the other is actually recording our voice and saving what we're doing to the PowerPoint.
So do you highlight with the mouse, or do you have to have a...
Yeah, we can highlight with the mouse,
Okay.
just like that. We just like if you were going to select it and copy, paste, etc. You can do, well, there you go. That's not steak, that's actually a leg. Anyways, and so all of that fun stuff, everything that you see is there. If you want to go and put something else on, you go back to your Hangouts, and you can select screen without, and it comes back to you. Select, and now if you want, you select and share again. Make sure you watch out what you're wearing, as far as, because in that, just that little transition, they'll see you. Yes, sir. Oh, is time up? All right.
And you can share that with all your students with their Gmail account.